Ooh, I love these guys. Karelas. Did you just say ew, Karelas? I don't blame you. Actually, growing up, I didn't really care for these guys very much at all. But people change, our tastes evolve, and now it's safe to say, thankfully, bitter sense prevailed. Got it? Bitter sense? Because these guys are a powerhouse of nutrients, and as researched by Dan Buettner as part of his Blue Zones project, one of the top longevity ingredients from Okinawa, Japan, which is one of the 5 regions in the world where people live the longest and most healthiest lives. But why go so far? This is a very staple in the Indian cuisine as well. We're going to make them today, not fried, but roasted. It's going to be all crunchy and caramelized and crispy and oh so delicious. Roasting vegetables is one of the best ways of enjoying them, and we'll be doing a lot of that on this channel. To get started with this recipe, we'll take some karelas, about a handful of pearl onions, some purple onions, and tomatoes that are not in the picture. The pearl onion box comes with directions on how to easily peel them, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. The directions ask for them to be steeped in boiling water, but I'm just going to go ahead and microwave them in normal water for about a minute or so to get the same results. Next, we'll add them in ice cold water, and that will make it really easy to peel. Next, we're going to cut up the karelas, and we're not going to cut them either too thin or too thick, somewhere in the middle. We're not going to remove the skin, and we'll cut them some into circles and some into ovals just for the heck of it. You can do whatever shape you like. And by the way, these Karela seeds, definitely my favorite. They become so crispy and crunchy when roasted. Next, we'll get the pearl onions in the mix. We'll add a good drizzle of olive oil or any other oil that you like. Add in some salt to taste. And then add the spices. We're going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, some chili powder or cayenne pepper, about a teaspoon or so of dried coriander powder or sukha dhania, and a little bit of amchur. So that would be probably about 1/2 teaspoon of amchur and about a teaspoon of brown sugar. And then we'll give it a good toss. We'll try to coat all the pieces with all those delicious, yummy flavorings. Next, we'll lay these out in a single layer into a baking tray. And we're doing it in a single layer because we want these individual pieces to get all crisp and crunchy. Don't want them to get steamed. And I'm using a baking tray with foil on it, and that's just because it makes cleanup a breeze. The purple onions are optional, but I've gone ahead and sliced and dressed them and piled them up in one corner. And the reason for doing that is because these will cook much faster than the karelas, and I want to be able to pull them out at that stage. And there they are, all ready to get into the oven. Don't they look pretty? We're going to bake them in the oven for about half an hour at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And midway, when you feel that the purple onions have crisped and caramelized, we'll just go ahead and remove them first. And then we'll put the karelas with the pearl onions back in the oven and roast them for about another 10-15 minutes or so. Basically, at the end of this time, the vegetables should look all crispy and crunchy and caramelized, at which point we're going to move them into a serving dish. And since I like things rustic, I'm going to go ahead and use this tawa of mine. And remember, if you don't want them too crispy or brown, you can roast them for a less amount of time. I'm going to go ahead and give it a taste test and try one of the crispy bits. Oh, it's so good. And then to take things up another notch, I pan roasted some tomatoes. I just pan roasted these in a little bit of olive oil, salt, and a little bit of brown sugar. But you could totally roast them in the oven for about 15 minutes and they'd be totally fine. Remember to do it in a separate pan. That way you can remove them at the 15-minute mark. And there you have it, your super healthy and delicious Karela sabzi, roasted Karela sabzi is ready. Enjoy it with dal and rotis for a complete meal. And I think you're going to love this roasted no-fry recipe as much as we do. So thank you for spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I like making it for you. And I hope it's going to change your view on the Karela, if you don't love it already like me.